Hi, Chevra. Welcome back to the short for Parshat Shoftim. I want to talk about a mitzvah, a law in the Torah in this week's Parsha. That's an exceptional law, they say. It's the din of Eidim Zomimim, of people, of individuals who conspired against another individual. And the halacha is that if they give their testimony, which is a false testimony, because essentially they weren't there, right? They say that Reuben killed Shimon in New York, and it turns out they were, at a Cubs game in Wrigley Field on that same day, at that same moment. Could have happened. The crime could have happened, but they couldn't have seen it. The halacha is the punishment they'll get is what Reuben would have gotten, right? So if Reuben would have been killed on their testimony, because a capital offense, they would have gotten, killed as well off of that testimony. But the halacha is va'asisam lo kasher zamam v'lo kasher asa. The Gemara says that let's say Reuben was already killed based on their testimony, and then only later did other witnesses come and say, "Hey, you were with us in Wrigley Field. You couldn't have seen that murder happen in New York," and independent of whatever the crime rates are in either place. The Gemara says it's ka'asher zamam v'lo ka'asher asa. They get what they had conspired to do, but not what actually happened. So hargu ein neheragin. If the person was already killed based on their testimony, even if it was false testimony, they're not killed. They don't get punished. And everyone asks, what gives? How could that be in the Gemara? Essentially, they're like, it's a chiddush. This is something. It's an exceptional case. You can't learn it out from anything, or it's a pasuk. The pasuk says "Gzeres HaKasuv." And the question is, then, what do we take away from that? What are we meant to glean from this exceptional case? And I think the answer is that intention matters. If intention matters for the negative, what did I intend to do? Did I want to wreak havoc on someone else's life? Did I want to do the wrong thing? If that intention matters to a certain extent, well, our intention for the good matters. Think about in the words in Eishes Chayil, Zamama Sada Batikachehu. It's talking about the woman of valor, right? The righteous woman. She envisioned, she conspired. Zamam. She conspired. She saw what her field should look like, and she made it for herself. She took it for herself. She saw what her home should look like. She had a vision of what her children would be learning, what we'd inculcate into our children, what our values would be, how we would get that from generation to generation, from children to grandchildren, to the kinds of Jews that we want to be. What is our hazamah? What is our vision? How do we conspire or intend to be the absolute best people we can be? That's what Chodesh Elul is all about. Just turning things around, looking up and lifting up our perspective and saying, okay, where did I go wrong this year? And what can I do better? And how can I be better? And we might end up in the same place we are already now, even next year. But Elul is about literally lofty thoughts and lofty ideals, values and visions and intentions indeed for the kind of life and lives that we want to lead, to be the best people we can be, and to be the best Jews we can be. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov, and Shana Tovah!